Objective 3, operations on functions using function notations. In this video, I'm going to talk through composition. I'm going to do an example of what composition looks like, and I'm going to ask you to pause the video and try one on your own. This might not be in your notes, so if you would take a moment and copy these two problems down so that you can follow along and then try one as well. So to begin, composition, I'm given two functions, g of x and h of x, and it tells me to find h of g of x. That's how you would say that out. So h of g of x, meaning that the function h of x has g of x existing within it. Or I'm going to compose g of x into h of x. So if you look at h of x, it's 2x minus 5. The only place, I'll rewrite that so you can see it better. It's 2x minus 5. The only place that a function can be composed within or put inside of h of x is right here in this x. Alright, so I'm going to put g of x, the function g of x, which is x cubed plus 4x squared inside of that variable. So what that's going to look like then, h of g of x is going to equal to, instead of writing the variable, I'm going to write parentheses, and I'm going to make them large enough so I can write the other function within it. So I'm going to, this was the place, this was x, now it's going to be parentheses, and then I still have to put that minus 5 afterwards, but that's still part of the function h of x. All that's happening is g of x is taking place of the x within h of x. Alright. Then within the parentheses goes this function, x cubed g of x function, plus 4x squared. And I'm done with setting it up. So at this point I have set it up correctly, and then I just followed along the math that's necessary to simplify it. In this case, that 2 is sitting outside of the parentheses, so it needs to be distributed in. So I'm going to bring that 2 in for both of those terms, and then I can't forget about the minus 5 at the end as well. So my final answer, I believe I can do this in one more step. 2 times x cubed is 2x cubed. 2 times 4x squared is 8x squared. Then I got to bring down this 5 minus 5. At times you might have to combine like terms. It just depends on what it calls for, but in this case I am finished, and I have composed g of x within h of x. I'm done. Go ahead and pause the video and try number 2 on your own. At this point in the video you should have paused to try number 2 on your own. I've set up my composition right here. I put g of x within the variable of h of x. Notice that that negative still has to be outside of the parentheses, and then I put the function negative 2x cubed plus 2x squared within the parentheses. The only math that needed to exist then was distributing this negative. If you remember, this negative is really a negative 1, and then if you distribute that in there, it changes the signs of both those terms. Multiplying by negative 1 would do that. So your final answer is 2x cubed minus 2x squared plus 3. If you did not get that, please raise your hand and I will come check your work. Thank you.